Welcome Spurs fans, I'm Aldis aka Boffin and on this channel you get zero charisma, zero personality but 100% facts. Tottenham 5, Everton 0. The best part of this game for me was seeing Antonio Conte smiling again as Spurs went on the rampage against the Toffees. Spurs put the feel-good factor back into the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Also, Harry Kane flew past Thierry Henry in the total Premier League goals scored chart. His 2 goals against Everton move him to 176 Premier League goals and 6th in the all-time scorers list. On to the game. Tottenham played with a 3-4-3 formation most of the game. The wing-backs were effective with Ryan Sessegnon sprinting down the left and crossing into the box for the first goal. Son scored the second after clinical rapid passing from several Spurs players. Reguilon scored in the first minute of the second half. Harry Kane stole the show with a good first goal. However, Kane's second of the night was a completely box-office left-footed volley, which he struck as the ball was dipping over his body. In a Sky interview after the match, Antonio Conte suggested that the hard work at Spurs is starting to pay off. He also said that after a good win against Everton, he wants an answer from his players against Manchester United on the weekend. Conte added, "We have to show that we are becoming stronger." Are Spurs back in contention for the top 4? It's probably too early to tell. However, Tottenham looked much better in the centre of the park with Rodrigo Bentancur back in the team. Spurs had much more control and purpose about them with Bentancur taking up good positions and passing crisply in all directions, not just backwards like some of our midfielders. Regarding player ratings, Spurs' defence gets 8.5 out of 10 because they did not allow a shot on target all game. Solid defending all game. Højbjerg gets a 7. Bentancur gets an 8.5 as he was passing well and generally dominating the midfield. Spurs forwards get 8 out of 10, apart from Harry Kane who gets 9.5 out of 10. Kane's 2 clinical finishes were pure magical sorcery by the number 10. In this week's Tottenham news, Spurs look to have cooled their interest in Lille defender Sven Botman. Instead, the Express reports that Spurs have turned their attentions to RB Leipzig star Joško Gvardiol. 20-year-old Croatian Gvardiol is precisely the kind of player Tottenham like to invest in. He is young and has the potential to develop. It is widely thought that Tottenham need to gain a quality defender in the summer to fix the leaky defence. Worryingly, Spurs have let in pretty much the same amount of goals as Burnley, and Burnley in the relegation zone. In final news, it seems that Tottenham and Arsenal are becoming very interested in right-back Jed Spence. Spence is currently on loan at Nottingham Forest. According to hitc.com, it is suggested by some that Spence could in the future battle Kyle Walker, Reece James and Trent Alexander-Arnold for the England right-back position. Spence has gained notoriety with some good performances this season. Indeed, when Spence played and won against Arsenal, Ian Wright suggested that it was one of the best performances he has seen in a long time, a very long time. Now it's time for Boffin Bite's stat of the day. Today's stat is the number 4. According to footballhistory.org, Everton have only spent 4 seasons outside of the top flight of English football. The Toffees have been playing in the top tier of English football since 1954. Only one team has a longer continuous record in the top flight, and yes, you've guessed it, it's Arsenal. Finally, on the same day as today's match, but in 1876, the 29-year-old Alexander Graham Bell received a patent for his revolutionary new invention. His invention was the telephone. One of the first ever calls by Bell went something like this: "Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you." Mr. Watson was Bell's assistant, who was in the next room on another telephone. Bell's invention showed that you could talk with electricity. Remember, only Boffin Bite brings you the best and most nerdy facts. Believe that, Spurs fans. That's all for now. Join me soon for more fun and frolics. Hit subscribe and like the video for more Boffin Bite content. I'm Aldis, and I'm out.